This is part one in the series on Jesus Comes to Us in the Storm. I want to read an incredible story in the Bible to you. It's taken from Mark chapter 6, verses 45 through 52. The Word of God says, immediately Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side to Bethsaida, while he himself was sending the crowd away. After bidding them farewell, he left for the mountain to pray. When it was evening, the boat was in the middle of the sea, and he was alone on the land. Seeing them straining at the oars, for the wind was against them, at about the fourth watch of the night, he came to them, walking on the sea, and he intended to pass them by. But when they saw him walking on the sea, they supposed that it was a ghost, and cried out, for they all saw him and were terrified. But immediately he spoke with them and said to them, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid." Then he got into the boat with them, and when the wind stopped, they were utterly astonished, for they had not gained any insight from the incident of the loaves, but their hearts were hardened. Matthew also records this story in his gospel in chapter 14, verses 22 through 33. And John does the same in John 6, verses 15 through 21. The fact that three gospel writers would record this event speaks to its significance for our lives. This story tells us that Jesus comes to us in the midst of the storms. The coronavirus has been a storm that has created a very unsettling effect upon many lives. There is much fear and uncertainty physically, economically, relationally, and spiritually. In the days ahead, we will be looking at this story in depth and seeing how Jesus intends to come to us in this storm and all the storms of life. So I hope that you will be joining me in the days to come. I do want to convey the staff's love and prayers for you during this difficult time. But as we remain united and in touch with one another, we can draw strength from one another. We as a staff are seeking to use a number of channels to bring encouragement. I want to encourage you to continue to check the church Facebook page for new videos. The church office remains open Monday through Thursday from 8 until noon. Do contact us if you have needs or prayer requests. We do want to continue to make the prayer list available. Even though we are no longer having services and activities at the church, we still have property and maintenance expenses. Your tithes and offerings are also needed to meet numerous mission commitments, office expenses, and staff compensation. You can bring your contributions by the church during regular office hours or mail them to the church at Post Office Box 449.